I went to Cuba just because I wanted to educate patriots, and I was so grateful for the openness. We were born in an era where you don't know how lucky you are. I was born in '76, and my whole life happened to catch up with this era.
There is also a book called Fatal Character, which I actually read many years ago, and I think it is very well written and very feeling. But I think it was only after I arrived in Cuba that I really realized that the previous feeling was too superficial.
I will use the name of this book to talk about our harvest in Cuba, and I will first show you some of the things I brought back from Cuba. That is, I am like our guide. What is this small gift? But each person in the notebook has a quota every year, and this quota is the food you can receive. In Spanish, it is written that you can get 4 pound first sugar in March. You can get 2 pounds of first sugar coffee, and each person plans according to the head of the person every month. How many things can you take care of? And what a person can eat in a year is in this book. But it's not completely free either. It has a price, but the price is ridiculously low, so low that it's basically free. But the question is, what's it? The biggest challenge was that we actually went to a grain station, which was a polarization station, and found that the shelves were full of holes. There was almost nothing, and an old lady walked in to take a look. The shelf above was empty, and then went to look at the blackboard and found that she didn't know what was on the blackboard to carry the bag in her hand. I asked the local guide why he couldn't get anything. He said that not only now he can't get things, but he has not been able to get things for a long time. Since the beginning of the epidemic, a family can receive 30 eggs a month. And when the epidemic occurred, they could only receive
6 eggs when we went. There was not even oil, and there was not a single egg during this time.
Even interestingly, if you go to the privatized vegetable market next to you to buy something, you can't buy beef, you can't buy eggs, you can't buy chicken. Why can't you buy it? The reason why you can't buy it is that the state does not allow private markets to sell. Those who are not allowed to sell eggs, those who are not allowed to sell chicken, those who are not allowed to sell beef, why are they not allowed to sell them? They are worried that once this thing is allowed to be sold, these things from the regular state-run distribution station will be transferred to the private market, and everyone will not be able to get them. So in the public grain station, there is actually nothing in the private market. So it is embedded in a very embarrassing situation. The private market is in some of its own small shop. Gradually, some people began to buy eggs in the kind of farmer's market where the flying workers were stripped. And this egg was probably the same. $6 to $7 is about 3,100. Don't exchange it for RMB. You have to compare the local income. How much is the local income? The capital is 20 to 30 US dollars. What is the concept? I was shocked when I went there. I knew they were poor. I didn't expect to be so poor, so I thought of a sentence. What is Hayek's book about? When we think we can plan everything. Where does our confidence come from? Another economist said a sentence, if you plan in the desert, you will probably have to shortage sand. What does this mean? It is who gives you this confidence that makes you think that you can plan everything. This conceited and extremely deadly, this fatal result that Cuba has already seen. And there is another country on this planet that cannot even eat bread and eggs at this time. But why is he conceited his original intention at the beginning? In fact, there is no original intention, which is the market competition brought about by competition. It can cause huge waste. For example, there are 100 people in this market. Company A found that 100 people needed coats. Company B found that 100 people needed coats. And Company C found that 100 people needed coats. And at this time, a situation arose saying that they would all produce 100 pieces. When these 3 people produce 100 coats, it will cause a lot of waste. And when 200 pieces are sold, everyone will have to roll the price. As far as the price is concerned, once the price is rolled down, no one can make money. So why produce 300 pieces? Can I plan to produce 100 pieces? Does it sound very reasonable? So it will cause a result. There is no waste. What is the way not to waste? That is, the plan company is the same. Who is better to let do this? Is it better to let A do this? Or is it better to do one thing for B? Or is it a waste for the 3 of C? A gun, B gun, GAN doesn't work. It seems to be okay, but who can guarantee that your choice of A gun is the most suitable? So isn't Tencent just a horse racing branch all three of them are done. Whoever does it will be whoever does it, and the other few people will waste it. Waste is actually the price of innovation. Waste and competition are moving forward. A huge impetus for the Prime Minister's plan if it can be done. The problem is that it can't be done when you say you need 100 clothes. Layer by layer statistics. Statistics. After the statistics are counted above, send them to you to produce after production in the hair is half a year past. After the new year, this market still needs 100 clothes, which is why planning in the desert may even be short-term. So the first very important feeling for me is to thank the reform and opening up. It is really a patriotic education. Why patriotism? I think I'm very grateful for the reform and opening up.